Why did the nomination of Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary occasion such a conflict, where two Republican senators broke from the majority and the Vice President had to break the tie? Why Education Secretary? Why not one of the more important positions? The answer is that Betsy DeVos is a mortal threat to the Democratic Party, and they recognize it as such, and they pulled out all the stops to try to block her confirmation. Because at last we're going to have an education secretary who is fully committed to school choice, to charter schools, to vouchers for private and parochial schools, to letting all students, minority, handicapped, disabled, all go to the school of their choice and of their parents' choice. Doesn't seem like a radical proposition, but it is, because the key reason those schools are effective and more effective than regular public schools is that they're not bound by union contracts. They're not bound by collective bargaining agreements, which means the principal has broad discretion to hire, to fire, to promote, to demote, and to dismiss teachers that are not any good. They're not protected by tenure. This is a mortal threat to the teachers' union, and a mortal threat, therefore, to the Democratic Party, which depends on the teachers' union for a large portion of its funding. The ultimate conflict that the Democrats fear is to pit their base, Black and Hispanic parents who want their children to get a good education, against their funding source, the teachers' union, in a mortal conflict. The Democratic Party might not survive that conflict, and certainly cannot survive it with its minority vote base intact. This is one of the key points that Eileen and I make in our book, Armageddon, that school choice is the issue that the Republicans can use to take back the minority vote. Just to give you an example of how significant this is. In the city of Philadelphia, there are 250,000 students, 200,000 of them in regular public schools, 50 of them in charter schools. And the population in charter schools is largely minority. And there's a waiting list of another 50,000, largely minority, clamoring to get into the charter schools. But their way is blocked by the Democrats who put obstacles in the way of chartering those schools. The other side of the coin is that in New York City, there are 4,000 teachers who every day report to what's called the rubber room. It's a room where they sit and they read their newspapers. They never go near a classroom. They get full pay and full benefits, and when they retire, full pensions. But they are too crazy and abusive and senile and whatever to be permitted to contact with children. So the chancellor has put them in this rubber room. Why doesn't he fire them? Because he can't. The teachers' union requires that they be kept on because they're tenured teachers. This kind of nonsense is what's standing in the way of a good education and a good future for minority students, and the parents know it, and Betsy DeVos knows it, and as she begins to expand the landscape of education choices to break and dilute the power of the union, watch the Democrats scream and watch their base turn away from them. Thanks for watching.